You've tuned in to the Bellingham Podcast for the week of August 4, 2019. This is episode 127. From the city by the Salish Sea, I am AJ Barcay.
And straight out of 98226, I am Chris Powell. On this episode, ain't it funny how a new place and a new experience can lead to a more expanded mindset? I had one of those recently. And AJ and I are going to unpack something that may not necessarily be part of our fine community. What the heck am I referring to? You'll find out soon enough. Next on the Bellingham Podcast.
At the tone, it'll be time to... How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing just fine. Beep. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I'm sick and tired of robocallers. Can I just say that?
Oh, you know, robocallers are fun, and I invested $5 in a RoboKiller app on the iTunes store. And I just giggle because they have some preset recorded pausing kind of messages. Therefore, when the phone answers through the app, I have Jon Snow from Game of Thrones saying, "Hello, I can't hear you in this blizzard. Please speak up." And the person is confounded and they usually hang up.
Yes.
$5 well spent.
I love it.
Anyway, it's beautiful outside. And we are talking about an experience that I had. But first, we want to give a shout out to a Watch Fam update.
Yeah. So,
Watch Fam update.
We totally need a jingle intern, dude.
I just gave you one.
A new podcast has popped up out of Tennessee here in the United States.
Yes, indeed.
Called 10 with 2 N's and 2. It's 2 lovely ladies based out of Nashville, Tennessee. They both go by Kat. You have Kat and Catlin. But they just launched their first episode. I just want to give them a shout out as as a fellow member of the Watch Fam and fellow podcaster. Welcome to Podville. As
Bruce Willis said in Die Hard, welcome to the party, pal. Anyway, congratulations on your first episode. I subscribed. I look forward to many more perspectives and points of view from the Watch Fam. And I was very somewhat envious to see how they both are rocking more expensive timepieces that I'm currently wearing.
Have you heard the first episode all the way through?
Not exactly. I gave a start and then I had some other family related things coming up.
It's good. They talk about it and they talk kind of about their origin story and stuff. And there is a Seiko, the small version of your SKX.
Yes.
Was their gateway drug to the Watch Fam. So listen to it. It's a good episode.
From one coast to the other. Happy podcasting.
Happy podcasting.
All right, here we go. So I had a getaway with my beautiful wife recently in which we went to Central Oregon. And for those of you who have been to a town called Bend, Oregon, it is a beautiful joint. I thoroughly loved it.
Beautiful joint. Bend. You went there?
You know, I totally made a funny and I didn't even know it. So yes, it's a beautiful town. The hamlet is just wonderful. My wife and I had a great time. But there was something that I noticed, and we were in high tourist season in Bend, Oregon during our getaway. And as it turns out, this was only about 3 weeks in from what I've noticed. It started on July 1st, and I noticed this shuttle bus following us, or wherever we were at, there is a shuttle bus. And it turns out that Bend, Oregon, from the summer season until Labor Day, offers a shuttle for anyone to be able to use. It's an on-demand, app-driven transit service to the public. We got a link to that in the show notes. For the love of McMars, drink. And it's during noon to 8 or prime tourist time. You got to download an app from iTunes or Google Play, summon one of the 3 dog-friendly vans equipped with bike racks, because everyone in Bend was on a bike, running or walking or kayaking or doing something athletic.
Marvelous.
Yes, or they were drinking and eating and just enjoying the sunshine in the upper 80s and low 90s while we were there, at least.
Also marvelous.
One van was also ADA accessible. Good on them. But then you take what's called Ride Bend. I'm enunciating because I want to keep our clean tag. Ride Bend to your desired location within the service area. And within the downtown area of Bend, there's like maybe a perimeter around it, and it kind of dumps you off at one of these areas. I marveled at that. But then there was something I noticed. There's this thing about subscribe to the Bend Pledge. What the heck is a Bend Pledge? Got a link to that in the show notes. For the love of Vivian Campbell, drink. And so they have a list of 10 things to summarize. You can check our show notes if you want. If I can't find a parking spot, I will not invent my own. Clever. I will use my turn signal often and my car horn seldom.
Cool.
I will make my own memories, but not my own trails.
Word.
I won't risk life or limb, human or sapling, for more likes.
Preach.
If I can't, I already said that one. When playing outside, I'll prepare for shifts in weather and random episodes of magic. That's cheeky.
I like that.
I promise to leave Bend better than I found it.
Amen.
So there's a couple more of those that are in there, and I was looking at that on my phone as we were just hanging out, waiting for our table, and I thought, that's pretty cool. Let's make our town or our community a better place, even if you are a knucklehead from out of town visiting, like me. And so I got to thinking, does Bellingham have that kind of code or a Bellingham Pledge?
Ooh, do we?
Well, your two fearless podcasters in chief here, we did a little bit of checking, and it turns out that the city of Bellingham has a We Scoop Pledge.
For those dog owners.
That we've harped on, or at least alluded to please pick up your dog's business on various trails and or areas that they, in general, outside of your own home area. They also have another climate pledge thing.
Yeah. It's quote, I'm in for climate action now. It's a climate action pledge, which is more of like an incentive program. It's trying to promote more people to be, swapping out on their PSE or local Puget Sound Energy, adding on like a $3 or $5 flip. Instead of drawing down from like conventional power, you would be paying for having your power being drawn from environmental friendly, like wind, solar, that type of thing, or it's a mitigation. I wasn't quite sure on that part.
Sure.
So whether you're doing an EV vehicle or putting in solar panels on your house, it's more of a promotional incentive campaign than it is an actual.
Good on them for trying to make this area a better place. But the thing that we found, dear listeners, is that Bellingham doesn't have a community-based pledge.
We have a community-based radio station on KMRE 102.3 FM.
And they're community-powered, and they are actually airing our humble show Mondays at 6:30 p.m. and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Did you catch those two different time slots? Anyway, and they're also streaming worldwide at
KMRE.org.
That's right. So we have a community radio station. Hey, listeners, why don't we have a Bellingham Pledge or a Bellingham Code?
Challenge accepted.
Hold my beverage and watch this. So AJ and I were talking, and as we normally do, and like, if we were to create a Bellingham Pledge, what would we include? Hey, guess what, mayoral candidates? Listen up. This might be of help to you in your platform. AJ, why don't you, in no particular order, start us off?
Yes, and some of this is tongue firmly planted in cheek.
And some of it is deadly serious.
So it's up to you to decide which ones we were doing.
Not quite deadly, but some of us were very serious about this.
So for mine, I vow to take life at a more subdued pace, to be present and respect all walks of life.
I can identify with that.
Yeah, I think it's more than just our normal stance of like, be nice.
Yes.
It's one of those things where we pride ourselves on the fact that we are the city of subdued excitement. Yet, more and more, especially as politics get more and more lately, we are not so subdued. And on top of that, I am tired of just walking around and seeing the drones of people in our fair city with their nose thoroughly into their black mirror. Be present in our subdued city. And then on top of that, be nice to everybody. I thought it summed everything up.
Along those lines of, if I have the financial means, I will pay for my coffee in the drive-through window and the person's behind me, because that, dear friends, is a Bellingham way.
Totally. I dig that one.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, well, along the lines of the kind of the pledge that is the green climate action pledge that we have, but actually codifying it in our pledge of 13 here, I promise to support sustainability, starting with my actions first. So often, especially in our town, there are some people that kind of get on their soapbox about sustainability, and then they drive a Hummer.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like, you need to set out your recycling, Chris.
Yes.
Right. Just as soon as you stop burning diesel just to go to Hagen.
Oh, wow. That was a shot across the bow for many people.
I'm just saying. Look, just saying.
Another idea for the Bellingham Pledge could be, I will allow someone carrying only a few items in their hands to go ahead of me and my full cart in the grocery store checkout line. Do you hear me, Costco shoppers? Attention, Costco shoppers. This one's for you. I think that'd be just a nice sign of courtesy,
Totally.
sharing some goodwill, and allowing someone who's like carrying, either it's a hand basket or something. You got 4 items. Big whoop. It's going to be an extra 2 or 3 minutes. that 2 or 3 minutes just may make a person's day.
Completely.
Anyway.
So along those same lines, if I believe that children are our future, then I give the vow to give the grace and patience to that mom or dad who has a handful with their little one, as opposed to just scoff and eye roll in public.
Yeah, and I know. And parents, my heart goes out to you. It's tough sometimes when you got a kiddo that is not having a good day. And, it's really tough. And we're there with you. And you may feel sheepish. You may feel a little, inadequate, insecure. We're with you. And you got a little kiddo that's got an axe to grind with whatever is on their mind.
It's just because he didn't get a nap, Chris.
Or she didn't get a nap either.
I was speaking personally.
Fair enough.
I mean,
yes.
No, I was, like, when I wrote that, and my wife has also experienced this as well. Like, I was that dad that was, finally had his first outing and, had my meltdown. Or I didn't, my toddler did. And also props to Hagen for having balloons free for kids for in the event that there is a meltdown in aisle 3.
Good on Hagen for that. All right. As a partaker in the Bellingham Pledge, I will pick up discarded trash that I see and put it in a garbage can because in Bellingham, we don't wait for someone else to do something. Can I share a story, AJ?
I just did, so why don't you jump in?
So there's a story that you might be able to find online called Whose Job Is It Anyway? Now, there's a great TV series called Whose Line Is It Anyway? And featuring one of Bellingham's own celebrities, Ryan Stiles. Hi, Ryan. Love to have you on the show sometime. But anyway, whose job is it anyway? So sit around for story time. This is a story about 4 people named Everybody, Somebody, Anybody, and Nobody. There was an important job to be done, kind of like picking up discarded trash. And everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have.
Word.
That's about a lot of words right there, but it does make you think. We are that anybody. We are that somebody. And pick up some trash. You've got a discarded coffee cup or a water bottle on the ground. Now, if it may look like a biohazard,
yeah, sure.
Let that protect yourself first. We're talking about the overt stuff that you would see on the ground. Anyway, next.
So along that same lines, I'm going to go kind of outside of the city. And in our pledge, I want everybody to recognize the fact that the outdoors is a place for us to show the best part of what makes us human, not a place to show our disregard to the grounds that we live on and the waters we live by.
That's pretty deep. Not just the waters, but that's a good point.
No, I'm tired of going up to the mountain and I see, a bunch of derelict trash or people just being a knucklehead, just figuring, oh, it's the mountain, whatever. No. We need to be better than that. On top of that, the lakes and rivers that I have been diving and snorkeling in, hunting for treasure.
Yes.
Mostly it's just garbage and recycling I'm fishing out. I'm tired.
Yeah. We got to start cleaning up Bellingham to make it beautiful.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. So this one is more as under the lens of being ambassadors of our town. We all are. We all... when we have family and friends come visit from out of town, we're kind of like the ambassadors of this area. According to the Bellingham Pledge, for what our list is, I will allow a driver with an out-of-state license plate to merge in front of me as 2 lanes become 1 on Bellingham city roads. Oh, I see you. I see you rolling your eyes at me. You're thinking, Chris, they got to get behind me. This is America. I got the big vehicle. They don't know what they're doing. There was a right lane ends sign way back there. They didn't see it. They got to go behind me.
That's their problem, not mine.
Exactly. Hey, folks, this is about the year 2020. Let's try a new mindset, shall we? Why don't we open the door for people, which is a nice courtesy move to allow others to go in ahead of us into a store. Since when do we ever elbow someone out of the way to get into a venue first?
Oh, I totally don't.
Okay, well, anyway. Let them go ahead of you. You're going to be fine.
Along those same lines, for me, I promise to do more on 2 legs or 2 wheels before raging behind the wheel of 4 wheels.
Oh, very good.
We need to remember, 1, abide by the road rules if you're a bicyclist, but 2, we need to just kind of put ourselves in the other person's shoe, regardless if you're driving or not. But, I find it that we take out our frustrations when we're in our closed glass box of a car and we're just like, that guy's so dumb. I'm just saying, take a breath, be more subdued, and be aware of your surroundings. All of us.
It's good to keep that in mind sometimes. We are getting a little tensed out with everyone around us. I'll give some other people the break.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go first, ladies and gentlemen.
Me too.
I'm not 100% all the time, but it's a good mindset to have in place. Next, I will park my vehicle towards the back of a parking lot to allow my fellow residents and guests of this city to park in closer spots. This made me recall back on a couple other ones about if we were mayor of Bellingham. I got no problem walking an extra 30, 40 feet. I'm able-bodied. Hey, out there in podcast land, are you able-bodied? Can you handle an extra 30 or 40 steps on your pedometer, or you're closing your rings, if you know what I'm saying? Why don't you allow someone else the courtesy of having a ringside spot to park their vehicle in? Might not be that bad a move, and you get a little bit extra sunshine, at least at this time. Yeah. Now, when it's torrential rain in winter, we'll talk about that later.
Funny that you should mention that, because in this pledge, there is no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes, and maybe the pointless umbrella.
Only bad clothes?
Yes. Look, welcome to the Pacific Northwest, everyone. You need to pack for layers, okay?
Yeah.
And yes, it can be warm and sunny and beautiful out. You're talking to somebody who rides a motorcycle and still wears his leathers. Look, pack in layers and leave the umbrellas at home because you just look like a tourist.
Fair enough. And as we're wrapping up, I will listen more and talk less. I had to throw that one in there.
Of course.
Now, this can be an optional one for the Bellingham Pledge because a lot of times we need to communicate. But if we listen to each other more and if we talk less, you might find a better outcome to whatever type of meeting, conflict, discussion, debate, argument you might have.
Why can't we be friends?
That's right.
Why can't we be friends?
So that was 12. Very similar to the original 13 colonies of the United States. We have 13 pledges.
Of course. And the 13th, which is the most crucial, the epitome of why we have the Bellingham Pledge. Dear listener, if you were listening to this, the 13th one, as you have your right or left hand up, we don't know. We haven't figured that part out.
And if you're driving, keep both hands on the wheel. We'll give you that.
Valid. You will subscribe to the Bellingham Podcast because you love our fair subdued city of subdued excitement and your podcast host.
Yeah, you love us. And we love you too. So I think that we are due in this city to try to improve. If we can't agree to improve various areas, we can agree to improve our mindset and how we treat each other.
Yeah.
No matter what walk of life we're in, or what socioeconomic status, or what pronoun we use, or what identity we choose, or what job we have, or what age demographic we're in either.
Absolutely. Because to use your story, everybody could say that we could have a better mindset. Somebody might want to have a better mindset. Anybody could have a better mindset. But if we don't do something, nobody's going to have a better mindset.
I like it. That was a total mindset drop, if you will. So here's the thing. Wouldn't it be something if there's a website or some other type of place online that you can take a look at the Bellingham Pledge?
Do you want me to whip it up?
I'm not going to accept that challenge just yet because I got a couple things in the hopper in my life. But would it be something if there was a website out there that had this information? Might have to tune in to a future episode to hear an update on that. Anyway, that was a fun. That
was fun.
A fun thing. Yeah.
So we got some extra time. Chris, what you been working on?
I'll tell you what, AJ, let me think about that for a little bit because I've wanted to kind of disengage mentally a lot this summer and just focus on getting the work done and enjoying the outside with my beautiful wife and my beautiful daughter. AJ, what do you have going on?
I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. Just not a lot, like I'm not flying to any crazy destinations or anything, but just came back from Mount Baker Wilderness.
Yes.
Below Artist Point. Took the family out there and stuff and did a really nice, awesome loop. At the time of this recording, on my Instagram, you'll see a watch shot of Heather Meadows area. Yeah, it was gorgeous here in Bellingham, and it was freezing cold and foggy up there.
Sure.
But it was great. It looked like I was somewhere out of the, I don't know, Scottish Highlands or something. Sup, Scottish Watches podcast.
Indeed.
But no, I've just been, traveling. I got some new kit for my camera. I've got a new lens. I got another one en route. Just kind of enjoying the outdoors and just getting out, man, getting my mindset squared away, kind of like our pledge.
Getting out is, I think, what I've been up to. As far as content creation, I'm still working on. I'm in the woodshed. Coming up with something. I got something in my head that needs to be shared, but not quite yet. But in the month of August here in Bellingham, Thursdays are Elizabeth Park outdoor concerts, Bellwether Blues, Brews, and Barbecues. I want to make sure I alliterate that correctly.
Yes.
There are so many outdoor markets. Wednesday has the Fairhaven Farmers Market. Saturday is the Bellingham Farmers Market. Pretty much every day there's something going on outside. There's the rooftop cinema that the Pickford Cinema's thrown down. All of these, just Google it. You'll find the information for it. I think, with the summertime, my wife and I, are not spending a lot of time indoors. We want to get out because we kind of spend our workday indoors.
Yeah.
And so it's got to get some of that sunshine while it lasts. And here come the increased temperatures. And by the way, a couple weeks away from the fair, at least if you're in Whatcom County, the fair is coming soon. And so, gearing up for that.
Do the Linden, do the Linden, do. I tried.
Paraphrase, that works out. All right. We are a little bit early, but you know what? We wanted to give you time to think about the Bellingham Pledge. So I think we should stick a fork in this show.
That wraps up for this edition of the Bellingham Podcast. Thank you again so much for listening to us, rating us, reviewing us, wherever you like to get your podcast. Remember, if you're in the Bellingham area, you might tune into us on KMRE 102.3 FM.
They're community powered and they are streaming worldwide at kmre.org.
And on that note, I pledge allegiance to the Salish Sea. I'm AJ Barsay.
And I'm Chris Powell. Thank you once again for joining us on the Bellingham Podcast with liberty and justice for all.
Ooh, that was good.
I finally got after the 40th take, I finally got the right setup.
Cascadia.